Bible Club. Eternal life.
It's time to believe in Luke 9.
Crucify my flesh, I'ma beat it to death. Gotta gasp for breath, till the day I rest. No more shackles, no more chains, I'm out of my cage. No longer bound, cause I'm no longer a slave. Crucify my flesh, I'ma beat it to death. Gotta gasp for breath, till the day I rest. No more shackles, no more chains, I'm out of my cage.
Been set free, man. Let's go.
My face, bury my face, looking for your grace.
Good evening, everybody. This is Huge Pop Entertainment. I am joined with the two most coolest people I know that know about wrestling. I am joined by Mr. Q and Reek, and I'm here. I'm Huge Pop. We're Huge Pop Entertainment. We're going to break down Raw, and we're going to break down Mania 1 and 2. Mania 1 and 2 will probably be quick, but we're going to talk wrestling. Just get this off the top of my head. You know, we are just fans. We have our opinions. This is our opinions, and they can be different than your opinions. And we lost Q, but he'll be back. But these are our opinions, and if they offend you, then that's
got two words for you.
Yeah, too bad.
You stick with your 2 words. I got my 2 words.
I just don't want you guys to get this twisted. We care about your opinions, but we have ours, and we don't mean to offend anybody. It's not a show to offend anybody.
Well, that's the beautiful thing is everybody has a difference in opinions.
100%. And so I want to talk about something that took place this Mania season that it's hot across the IWC. You've seen it on TMZ. You've seen it all over, and it's. I don't want to say, but the people that did this make us fans look stupid. We have to have respect for the talent. We have to have respect for guys like CM Punk, for AJ Lee, for Becky Lynch, for, Paul Levesque, for, Brock Lesnar, for all these guys that and women that put their lives on the line to produce stuff that we all love to watch, correct?
Mm-hmm.
But
Correct.
Then you got people like you had in that hotel room or hotel lobby doing what they did to Punk's wife by, I want a picture. Yeah, da-da-da-da-da. And you know what, dude? This guy, like everybody else, if you want a picture, you want an autograph, you should have bought the meet and greet.
Well, and that's just, what I'm saying? Like everybody's, I don't care how big of a star they are, they're people. And when they say, hey, please not right now, they're being respectful, saying, hey, please get away, just not right now. Respect their wishes, man. They're people too. They need their downtime.
Yeah, let's be honest. CM Punk just went through hell with Roman Reigns the night before, or the just a few hours before this all happened. He's tired. He's broken. I don't care if you think this is fake or not. But you go through a hack like that. That was a banger of a match. That's what saved WrestleMania. And then you want to do this to him. You're lucky that's all he slapped out of your hand is your phone.
Yep.
He's just like Rico said, they're human. They're us. They're people like us. And my point is, if you're going to spend $1,000 for a seat at WrestleMania, you can spend $400 or $500 on a meet and greet, just like everybody else. Or go wait for the cons, wait for him to get at a con, do all that. That's what those are for. It's going to come down to, I bet you here shortly after this all happens. There's 2 incidents I think I read about. What's going to happen for us fans is they're not going to have the hotels that where all the talent stay. You're not going to be able to stay in that anymore. They're going to be in one hotel, and you're going to be in a hotel jacked up 5 miles down the road. Because
it's going to come down to that because people don't know how to mind their business.
Absolutely. So let's get into it. Night 1 had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 matches. Night 1 lasted from 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock. And each match averaged 8 minutes. So you guys can do the math. You're over for your 56 minutes. Did I just say that? 56 minutes at a 4-hour show. Wrap your head around that.
See, my whole question on that one is, Doug, when did we start having so many commercials for PLE?
Right. Exactly.
Like, it's not to change the subject, but I just got to ramble this off. Okay. TKO takes over. Cool. All good. We're all happy. We're all excited. Big things about to happen. Well, now prices go up for your tickets every PLE. And now you got what? Raw's on Netflix. SmackDown. SmackDown still. And then you got Peacock to watch what is it? Actually watch SmackDown Peacock too, I believe, in Hulu. Or Hulu, there you go. And it's just you have so many different platforms to where you have to pay for those apps as well. And then now, and you get commercials with that unless you want to pay more for it. So it's more and more money now that you're having to spend just to watch the stuff that you used to love to watch.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you guys if you all heard the rumor about not the rumor, I mean, it's been talked about for a minute now, how it ain't how we thought it was going to be. And I think it's shown where Triple H is not in control of talent. He is not in control, and it's not on him. TKO wants to go ahead and install more celebrities, YouTubers, streamers, stuff like that for more publicity instead of really showcasing the wrestlers. And that is across the board of directors making that decision. And who's on that board of directors? Your boy D. Wayne. I don't know. What are y'all thoughts on that? Because I was reading into that and I'm like, man, it makes sense. It really does.
I'm right there with you, bro.
TKO taking over. This is my opinion. TKO taking over, and it's not a slap to WWE, but they're taking over Raw and they're taking over WWE, and they're making it so fans can't go. But I mean, and it's
when you have your talent broadcasting, which that's why we all love CM Punk, because he will throw it out there.
Yeah.
When he's saying you're raising your prices so much, people can't afford to go to your shows anymore. It's facts, man.
It is.
Facts. When is the last time we saw them struggle to sell out a WrestleMania?
Right.
WrestleMania.
That was crazy, man. I looked the night before, and there was still plenty of tickets available, man. Even on the floor seats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They can tell that you can bring John Cena out all you want, and he can talk about how many people are in there, 50,000 seats, 50,000 fans. But like Q said, you go on night one, you can buy. I mean, I have content creators that I know as friends. What did they do? They waited till the last minute, and they got floor seats.
Yep.
So don't come bring out John Cena out there with his "you can't see me" crap. And have him announce how many people are there and say, "Ooh, it's a sold out." No, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
I understand.
Go ahead.
I understand that Cena gets paid to say that, but look, there was a section mid-level, it was upper level, center of the whole thing, and it was empty.
Yep.
Both nights.
The only reason why Cena was brought in, and it's been proven, the only reason why he was brought in, Doug, was because they were struggling with tickets.
Yes. And, one of the funniest, dumbest parts of the show of WrestleMania Night 1 was when Bianca Belair came out. And props to her. Yeah, she's pregnant. And I just thought that was a kind of awkward segment. Oh, there's 50,660 people in attendance. Oh, recount 61. I'm like, so you had to pad it with you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. You're right. The ticket prices are so high. I don't know how people do it. I don't know how people go to WrestleManias like this and they buy tickets, buy merch, buy hotels, Go to meet and greets. Roman Reigns meet and greet, guys. No lie, $906. CM Punk's meet and greet, $750 some. No, and then there's
That's crazy.
that is
For a show that had Monday Night Raw and SmackDown matches on it.
yes. So let's break into night one. Opening match of night one was I can't remember.
It was the Usos
Yes,
and LA Knight going against Vision and ISO Speed.
Yes, I show Speed, Vision, and Usos. I'm gonna bust through this. I'm gonna let Q give me his response on that match.
Where to begin? I'm not a fan of it. I wasn't happy about ISO Speed. I didn't like any of the gimmick behind it. It was unnecessary the entire time leading up to WrestleMania. So I was kind of ready to get it over with, to be honest with you. Logan turning at the end was I kind of expected it because it just made sense, man, to have him go back and them help him come back and support him and back him up. Like, I just thought it was too much, man. It was boring to me. I wasn't really into it. Yeah, that's my take on it, man. Unnecessary. I feel like it could have been a match for the championship and had an actual real tag match for them versus that garbage.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dog, I agree with you, man. 100%. Where it was just, here we go. Let's bring in a streamer.
Yep.
Or I don't know exactly what he does. My bad. But
I
so speak. It's just a content creator, whatever he is. But let's bring him in and try to get ticket prices for publicity. And it's just, man, look, there was a difference when you brought Logan Paul in. There was a difference because Logan showed that he had passion for the business.
Right.
There's a difference when you see that passion in somebody. You see the work ethic in them. Now, I'm not saying ISO Speed didn't try to work hard. I ain't dogging that. Just saying there's a huge difference there, man, and it showed. Like, he just stick to the content. It was not needed. I feel like it just, like you said, it was nothing. It was just like, okay.
100%.
I have a similar take with you guys. I really do. I think it's unnecessary to have. I've never been a fan of content creators, celebrities. Never been a fan of that in a WrestleMania or even in anything of wrestling. If you're not part of wrestling, don't be part of wrestling. It's a money grab. Let's put ISO Speed up and we can jack up the price $200. I'm just being honest. I'm not, and I want to say something. I think my two boys here agree. It's not our frustration is not at the athletes.
No.
The athletes put on a banger. They went out and did what they said, what they were supposed to do. It's the minds behind it and the product that is produced because of it.
That's right.
That's the frustration we have. It's not we don't have frustration about Usos and LA Knight, Theory, Paul, maybe not even ISO Speed. The product is what the producing is what the frustration comes out in our show. I think I don't ever think we dog a wrestler at all.
No.
But I'm not going to sit here and dog a wrestler when I can't do it myself, right? I will say one of my spots that I did like with ISO Speed, and I was talking to Rico and I watched the thing live. Dude, man, he flew like a madman off that top onto the table. That was probably the only high spot of that show, of that match.
And that right there is like I was saying. I'm not dogging him saying he didn't work hard. He did.
Yeah. And like what Q said, it was unnecessary. You got Usos, you got LA Knight, you got Theory, you got Logan Paul. To me, it took it away from those guys, their talent. They weren't able to express, show their talent.
Yep.
I thought that match was at best.
Well, once again, real quick, let's look back to when Triple H started to take over for Vince, when Vince was starting to slide out. We were seeing a different WWE. We were seeing, man, all right, yeah, here we go. And it was doing good, dude, good. TKO takes over. We have this.
Yep. This is 2 years in a row, guys. 2 years. Same. Next, we go into the unsanctioned match. You get Jacob Fatu and versus Drew McIntyre. Rico, what did you take on that, man?
So I think my dog Q said this the best, man. For an unsanctioned match, we did not see anything like there was not one drop of blood. There was no like craziness going on. It was quick and just it was like a normal match, almost like a street fight kind of deal that didn't end up in the street. Like you remember back in the day when you saw street fights. I mean, how many times we seen somebody's titles getting thrown in the river or something?
Yeah.
Like dumpster matches, you're outside and it's just like
Yes, sir.
and that's what I was thinking. Unsanctioned match is going to be going outside or somewhere, but no, just once again, great talent. Not dogging either one of those two. They are phenomenal. I just feel like it was rushed.
Yeah.
100%. What about you, Q?
That's it, man. What he just said was spot on, man. It was absolutely nothing unsanctioned about that match. And the last thing he said was it was rushed. And we're going to be saying that a whole lot in this show. But I'm telling you, man, that match was one of the ones that was super rushed. There's no reason that match shouldn't have been 35, 40 minutes by itself. That match should have been drawn out. I'm talking about they should have been all over that arena. In the back lot, it should have been ridiculous, man. And I would have liked that ended in a draw where both of those guys just laid out. That would have been something to make people be like, whoa, yeah, that was good. And we kind of want to see more of it. But they dropped the ball with it, man. They dropped the ball. I think they could have kept, in my honest opinion, they could have kept Fatu and Drew McIntyre running a little. And we're going to come back to that because I got something to say about what we saw on Raw with Fatu. But I think they could have kept the Drake of Fatu and Drew McIntyre beef running throughout this next season, man. I really do.
Absolutely. And my frustration was this, guys. Remember the 2 weeks previously leading up to this WrestleMania, the street fight. What did we see? We seen backstage. We seen out in the open. We seen out through the crowd. We seen beating the hell out of each other. We seen even the night or the week before, dudes up on top of a freaking high rise, throwing each other off of that. That is an unsanctioned match.
Yes, sir.
That is the shit that we need to see. But we had a 7-minute match.
Yep.
No blood.
No blood, no thumbtacks, nothing.
No thumbtacks. A toolbox that flipped open. Several chairs thrown in that never got used. It was rushed. You guys said it right. It was rushed. Now, I'm glad that Jacob Fatu won. I mean, all gas, no break.
Yeah.
But I was kind of hoping Drew would win because I felt like it would have carried it longer.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to keep that going, man. Yeah.
They could have. And now you're right. Now what? What with Drew?
He's gonna. I'm hoping this just to make it go longer. He's gonna cost Jacob the championship match against Roman if Roman agrees to it. We'll get to that later.
So, was it Gunther Seth or was it a female match? I'm just gonna run through how I have it. So, so we have Gunther defeating Seth Rollins. Comments?
Okay. Q, you mind if I just take this one? Because
man, please.
Seth is my dog, man. Seth is my dog. And the fact is, my main comeback from his injury had all this hype, all this massive hype. And then all of a sudden, Braun Breaker comes back and just takes him down. And now all that hype you had built up is just nothing. Gunther beat him for no reason. You had Gunther going on this career-ending, retiring cats.
I'll be right back.
And all of a sudden, he goes against Seth, and it's just like, oh, yeah, let's put them together. And Gunther won.
Right.
That irritated the hell out of me. I was like, come on, man.
Me too, bro. Me too. Made no sense at all.
Like, I understand where they're trying to go with it with Braun Breaker and Seth, but you could have had it, like, after the match. Braun come out and attack him.
Or even better, I personally would have loved to see Braun somehow take out Gunther before the match or interfere to be like, hey, this ain't your battle, this is my fight, and him take the match over and actually go against Seth. That would have been amazing, man. But
That would have been better.
I hated it, man. Hated it.
I mean, like he was up here,
Yep.
and then it was just like you just squashed it, done.
Yep.
And
And now we going backwards. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, my bad, man. Now you're just doing the whole Gunther. Oh, Paul Heyman owes me one. Now he owes me one.
We talked about that though. We talked about that. If they would have ran that angle from the beginning, it'd be okay. But now this leaving room up for we may need to use this. It's old now. We don't want to see that. Yeah,
Man. And who did we have next?
Don't make me.
I think it was Liv and Stephanie, was it? Or no, was that night? No, that was night one.
No, that was night one. That was night one.
Yep. Liv and Stephanie. That match wasn't bad. It was not bad. I felt like it. Once again, it was rushed.
Yep.
Because I kid you not, I mean, this guy was sitting right next to me. I had got up to go do something real quick, and I was still paying attention. But I go to the door, I come back, it's over. I'm like, what?
I'm
very, very happy Liv won, though.
Same here.
Liv Morgan, Steph.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
You had to have her win. You know, it makes sense. Not that I like the Judgment Day, but I guess, you know, you had to have her win. And then I love her as a champion.
Yeah.
She's the shortest badass chick that I know.
100%.
And how she stepped up to who was that last night that showed up?
So Ruka.
Yeah. She stepped right up there. She's like, let's go.
And you see when Stephanie, not to divert, but when Stephanie come out after that match and all the Judgment Day was kind of backing up, she walks right through him and walks right up to her.
Yep. That was cool. So then we have Becky Lynch defeating AJ Lee. What's your thoughts on that?
Hey man, I gotta just go ahead and throw this out and not then Rico can take off with this one, but I'm just gonna say, y'all, we did amazing leading up to WrestleMania, and I think we got about a 90% clip right now, guys. We called almost all of this exactly how it happened, like for real, for almost every single one of these, we called them. So I was happy about it. When I was watching, I was like, yep, we called that one. So I wasn't mad at all, man. It was exactly how I expected it. I said if AJ Lee is not going to be here for the long haul, they're going to take the belt right back off of her. And what do we hear right after? We hear rumors of her saying, or she said it, that she's going to take a little bit of time. Like, we knew it was going to happen.
Mm-hmm. No, facts right there, man. And that's why I was not upset with Becky winning.
Yep.
And it was just like, okay, we kind of figured, like we said, we figured that was going to happen. Yep. But my thing is like, now what are we going to do with this? Because we've had Becky hog the title, and I don't mean to say hog, but
yeah,
she's been holding on to that thing. But this is just me, personal choice, my thoughts, my opinions. I think we need to let Natty get a run with that. Like actually, Natty, not Natalia. Let Natty take that run.
Yeah,
I
agree. I'm not mad at it at all, man. Not at all. You know, and that's the thing. You know, you have AJ Lee, mad respect. Becky Lynch, mad respect. Pioneers of the women industry. No questions. No questions. Now, I wouldn't say one of them are either I wouldn't give them the GOAT as being one of the GOATs. But they're the trailblazers of the women's wrestling. You know, we've seen another one. We'll talk about the next one. The other trailblazers of women's wrestling: Brie, Bella, you know, Paige. We'll get to that in a minute. Right? But they're the trailblazers, right? Yep. And now, just like we've seen night 2, passing of the torch. We'll get to that in a few minutes. We have to have a passing of a torch in the female wrestling industry.
Yeah.
Saruka, Yo Sky, those ladies need to come in and start challenging Becky Lynch. And I love Becky Lynch, but like I was telling Rico, she's a little bit off since she came back. Not sure what, but her style is just a little bit off, and so props to Becky for beating AJ. We all knew AJ wasn't going to keep that title for long. That was I think that was a nostalgia move by WWE. Unfortunately, I think WWE does a lot of that here lately. The nostalgia.
Yeah.
And so that, again, it was a 5-minute match. It was over before it got started, and then we had a commercial. So
commercials were irritating me.
Right. So that leaves us down to 2 last matches. We're gonna leave the last. Okay, so we have Brie Bella come out, and of course her sister's hurt, still with crutches. Going up against Nia Jax, Lash Legend, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss. You're not gonna hear me say this again, but Charlotte Flair looked good. Bailey and Lyra Valkyrie, and then to me one of the biggest pops of the night, if there was a big pop.
Oh, he heard me pop.
The return of Paige.
Yeah.
I loved it. I jumped up.
Yeah. Rico was all over the freaking clubhouse, man. He was all over it, dude. He was like, yeah. And I was like, dude. But it was cool. It was cool to see her back in the ring. So, Q, what was your shots?
I loved it. I told y'all Shanice was extremely excited when it happened, but I was hyped about it, man. I think her coming back is good. I just hope that she actually is going to, be around for a little while. She's still fairly young, too. I think she's like 32, 33, somewhere around there. So she's got some burn still left on her, man. So if she's going to hang around for a while, I think this could be huge for the division, man, the tag division.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And, I mean, even for singles, like, I can see her going for that women's IC title.
Hey, and that would be huge.
Mm-hmm. And I see that happening soon because we already are seeing signs of jealousy from Nikki.
So. And that's what I said to Rico at the end of that. They could have made 2 big moments in that match. The return of Paige and the heel turn by Paige getting smacked with that crutch. I was sitting there going, she's going to hit her. She's going to hit her. But she was looking at Brie and Paige going, I'm a little jealous. Did I not, Rico?
Yeah, because the way I was looking at it is like if Nikki would have had the belt and then go to give it to Paige and kind of hold on to it and just sit there and just stare at it for a second, okay, and then give it to her, and then you start to be like, she's kind of not liking that decision. But you could tell she was giving her the look like she wanted to hit her.
Yep. I'm thinking that there's going to be we've seen it before. I can't remember. I was trying to think of who it was. There was a men's tag team that had one of the guys was injured and they had to step in. And then a few months down the road, that guy that was injured I can't remember who it was, but they ended up turning on him. Mm-hmm. But I think, I would not doubt that they might use that Nikki turn. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's how I feel. That's my feelings, man. So then we got the night 1 main event. Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton.
It wasn't a bad match. I'm not going to sit here and say it was a bad match at all. No, I just Randy did his thing. Cody did his thing too. But Randy did that. But I will say I love when Cody come out with the whole Randy move and doing the stomp on every body part, hands, feet. And I was just like, okay. I did enjoy that. Now, Cody retaining, I'm not mad at it. I for me, I had it either way. Like, if Randy wins, hell yeah. Cody wins, we'll see what happens. But it was the aftermath. That's for me what got it. I was like, okay, yeah. This whole night has not really been good, but that just made me happy. Because you had Randy go back to Randy and just punt.
I'm at a loss for words, man. That doesn't happen often. I'm torn on this match. I can't stand Pat McAfee at all. Um, him coming back, and it's so funny because Rico, you called it. Him coming back out there just literally pissed me off, bro. I was like, you gotta be joking, man. In the referee uniform, like, really, we're doing this? So I thought that was ridiculous. But at the same time, Rico said it was expected. So I let it go. The match was good. I think that it could have went a little bit longer. I think it could have been a little bit more intense, which is crazy because it was one of the moments that actually gave us a little bit of, hype and some color. Like, it was actually pretty good with that, but it could have been even better in my opinion, man. These guys supposed to hate each other. Like, Randy's turned into a complete villain against his friend. Like, it's supposed to be all out war, man. So I wanted more from it, but it was good. We'll get to the next part when we talk about Raw. I just feel like WWE is back at the same bull crap again, man. They don't have set storylines that they're developing. They don't know where they're going. And they proved that last night on Raw. We see that they had no idea what the hell they were going to do if they put the belt back on Cody. And we saw that. And now we're just kind of staring, waiting. What are we going to do now? Have CM Punk and say I'm not says Cody. It's all over the place, man. All over the place.
Mm-hmm.
My biggest thing, I said it earlier when we were talking about about Fatu and Drew McIntyre. One of my biggest pet peeves in WWE does it a lot. You give us 3 weeks of amazing build.
Mm-hmm.
I got interested in this. I really did. I was like, these are my reactions to the three. I'm like, oh my god, the 3 weeks leading up, everything. Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes attacking Orton attacking Cody Rhodes, the phenomenal promos leading up to Wrestle Mania main event. Pat McAfee ruined that. Having Pat McAfee in there screwed that up. Pat McAfee got hurt, got hauled off to the back. Everybody, if you didn't think he was going to come back, you're dumb because you knew he was coming back. And come on, my favorite part of it was when Randy Orton RKO'd that son of a bitch.
Oh yeah,
I popped. I was like, yeah, send him out somewhere else. But I loved the match. I really did. From the beginning to the end. I wasn't a fan. I'm not a big Randy Orton fan. I'm glad Cody Rhodes won. I loved seeing the Viper Randy Orton punt Cody Rhodes. That was cool. He always slapped that belt out of his hands. That was cool. I love the entrances. Cody Rhodes, without paying homage to everything, they went through all his career. Randy Orton, same thing. That was stellar. That was cool. But unfortunately, that was too much because you took away from what could have been a 20-minute match and you replaced it with a 10-minute intro.
Well, like I said, the whole thing was rushed. But, when we talk about the build-up, I feel like that build-up lost its sizzle when you introduced Pat McAfee into it.
Correct.
Right. Yes.
Right. We got blood, though, right? We got blood. And we got a hella black eye. Right?
Yeah, he took that kick, man.
Dude.
He took it.
And I loved how they used each other's moves. But I think that you don't need to do that 7 times. You know what I'm saying? We had a 8-minute match full of each other's finishers. How many finishes? How many times do you need to? I don't know. I think we text that back and forth. How many times do we need to see this finish? RKO the son of a bitch, pin him and be done, right?
Done.
But no. Well, no. I mean, it finished night 1. I loved but I do think Randy Orton punting Cody Rhodes at the end. I think that saved that. I think that was an amazing ending. I thought that was cool. What a way to end night 1. I just think, our champion Cody Rhodes landed in the middle of the floor after getting his butt kicked. And night 1 was out. So let's go around. Q, what's night 1? 1 out of 10.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Night 1 was a dud in many places. but the few spots that were bright for me carried it. So I would say night one gets a solid 6.5, 7 if you're reaching.
Okay. Rick.
Mm-hmm. No, for me it was like literally 6.5. The only thing that jumped it up to a 7 to me was that pump. Like that, the ending of the match is
That's
what
it.
I was like. That made me okay. I'll give you a 7 now.
Yep.
5.
Dang.
I'm going to tell you why.
Go ahead.
5 because Paige. And that's it.
It's like you had people come in, do some wrestling here or there, whatnot, big, and that was it.
Fair enough.
Night 2. Let's go down to night 2.
That's right. How do you start?
How do I know? How do I start? Let's start by
Just
saying
how
this.
it finished quickly.
I think we can agree that night 2 blew out night 1.
Oh yeah. Oh, for
By
sure.
far.
Close.
For sure.
And here's a quick stat. Night 2 was 3 hours long. And it did more in 3 hours than it did night 1.
Yep.
That's my hot take about that.
Yeah.
So first match, singles match, Obafemi, Brock Lesnar, take it away, Q.
Fireworks, man. It was one of those matches I told y'all in text, man. I was disappointed at first, but then it all made sense, man. I was just like, wow, this was incredible. Oba is a star, man. Like that dude he oozes it, man. We've never seen anybody stand in a ring with Brock and we side with the other guy. It just doesn't happen. Brock is Brock. I don't care. Even against Taker, that broke my heart. But Brock is still Brock. We walked away sad, angry, couple tears here and there, but it's like, okay, I can deal with it, man. It's Brock Lesnar. Like, it's okay. Oba made him look human, man. He made him look beatable, bro, and he took him out. And I think because of that sold that match. I don't care if it was 3 minutes or 30 minutes. That match was fire because they came in, they handled business. Oba sold that match. I'm talking about he sold Brock's moves, but was like, whoa, okay, big guy. And he came right back at him, man. I think because of the way he fed into it, it was just amazing, man. I loved it, bro. And of course, the retirement, or what we think is the retirement, just took it over the top, man. He passed the torch to the big man.
Mm-hmm. No, you said it perfectly right there, was the passing of the torch. And that's why we're like, some people are like, that was so fast. And so I'm like, okay, well, let's take it back to where, let's look at the quick match you had with Brock and John Cena.
Yeah.
When he just annihilated him. It was so fast. But that was Cena passing that on to Brock, saying, you take the reins. You got this.
Yeah.
And same thing, Brock has nothing but respect for Oba. Was like, this is your show now. I felt like that was a great match. It was quick, but the way it happened, everything in it, the aftermath, man, Brock just saying, he's done. I think legitimately he is done. He's like, you know what? I'm good. I've done everything I can do in this business.
All I gotta say is Oba.
Yeah.
Dude's huge, bro. And you said it, Q. You said it, man. Finally, Brock looked human.
Yeah.
What happens when you put a dude just as big as he is, if not bigger, in the ring, and they sold each other? I mean, dude got busted by Brock Lesnar. He stands up and he just puts him out.
Yeah.
And says, 1, 2, 3. Then it happened, right? You see Brock in the ring. And, I mean, I did not hear about this at all on the IWC. No, I don't think anybody knew we had to take his shoes off or his gloves off. And I'm like, oh, but like Rico said, he's done it all.
Yeah.
What's more for him to do?
Yeah.
So that's my question to you guys. Is he done? A lot of people are speculating he is going to have a match at SummerSlam with Gunther. Does it take away from what happened at WrestleMania if he comes out of retirement to face Gunther for what? For retirement again? I think to me, it saturates, it waters it down. It takes everything that night 2 started with. If Brock Lesnar comes to SummerSlam, and I love, don't get me wrong, Brock Lesnar's a star, he's a superstar, but when you're done, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
How do you guys feel about that?
No, I agree, man. If he comes back, like the only reason why I'd see him come back is, let's say, to attack Oba and cost him a title match if he happens to have one with Roman, and just to have one more match or something like that. But it would take away from the WrestleMania. It most definitely will, because I feel like that was just such a superb time. It was perfect match afterwards, saying goodbye. Yeah, I think he's done.
Let's go to the street fight. Even Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio. What's up with that?
My boy Dom, man. I love the Demon. But man, I was really hoping for my boy to pull this off. Demon, it wasn't a terrible match. It was a good match. I always loved Dom's match. And Finn's great. You know, I felt like the way they portrayed the Demon and stuff, the way Finn did in that match, I was like, he's starting to show the Demon again, which was because you haven't seen it in forever. I think people tended to forget, and that was done on purpose, you know, so you don't see it all the time. And I liked it. Hands down, I loved the match. It was great.
You?
It was amazing to me, man. I think I texted you guys that the entrance was fire. They had two of the best I've ever seen. Him bringing back the alter ego was just fire, man. The only thing I hated about it, which has nothing to do with WrestleMania, I was disappointed they didn't continue that last night. I personally wanted to see them keep him in demon form until he finishes the job. I'm taking both you guys out, then I'm going back to Finn Balor. That's what I wanted to see. That's the only thing I was disappointed about. Other than that, at WrestleMania, man, he was incredible. He sold the match well, man. Dom did his thing with the fear and selling the fact of like, oh man, I ain't never seen this before. Like, this is what you guys are talking about. Like, he did a good job, man. Those guys are amazing. And to be honest with you, even though he lost, this match made me like Dom a whole lot more than I did before, because he really sold that match, like for real. He did a great job. Great job.
Mm-hmm. He's getting better and better every freaking time, man.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
He isn't. You can ask Reek. I'm not a Dom fan much at all. I've learned to now kind of like him a little bit, but you're right. You hit everything that I wanted to say about Dom. He is coming around. He's coming into his form. He is selling stuff like you wouldn't believe. I loved his entrance with the white masks. That was fire.
That's right, boys. Come to the dark side.
I love, again, you bring back Finn Balor, Demon Balor. My only problem with Demon Balor is, you touched on it at the end of what you said. I want them to carry it into Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
Okay? Here's why. So now we don't bring it to Monday Night Raw, and he comes out as Finn Balor. Now you're setting up the next time Demon Balor comes in, you know he's going to win. Right? Let's have some creativity and keep it going for a while. Because maybe one of these times that Demon is in there, because he's been throughout the whole show, he loses. But if you bring him in on a WrestleMania, he's going to be Demon Finn Balor, you know he's going to win.
No, not the. I have to disagree on that one, Doug, because there was, for a minute there, every time he was Demon, he won until he went against Roman. And then he ended up losing. He was on a winning streak as the Demon, and then he went against Roman. So we thought, this is it. Like, man, Roman may lose this, but Roman
come on, tell me this. You hear that right the week before WrestleMania, you hear that Demon Finn Balor's going to be there. Who did not think he was going to win?
Oh no, I know what you're saying. Though I'm just saying, like,
So I wish they would have brought Demon Balor in and take out McDonough, take out Liv, take out all of them in the Judgment Day.
He said take everybody out.
Take everybody out. If you're going to be Demon Fit, take everybody out. Why not? Right?
I think it would have been perfect if you would have had a backstage segment where you had, like, you see the lights flashing in the Judgment Day locker room, and then you see Raquel knocked out. You see Roxanne laid out.
Right.
And then Liv is down the hall screaming, and you hear her screaming, and then you see the demon's face, and then he comes out to the ring.
Yeah.
Woo, they could have done something different. I wish they would have extended it. That's it. I mean, it was a great match, though. Great match. I cannot say it wasn't a good match. It was amazing, So then we get to Penta, Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee, Siobhan Evans, Rusev, and JD McDonough in that ladder match. What's your thoughts on that?
Go ahead, Q.
Man, listen to me. I personally don't think, and I've never said this before, I really don't think there was much they could have done to improve the choreography in this match. The choreography in this match was some of the best I've ever seen in a ladder match ever. Like, it's very difficult to pull off. I'm going to give you one move in particular. When you had Javon jump up and do the OG cutter on Rusev, it's so hard to hit a move like that and it not look too choreographed, because obviously Rusev has to kind of lean off of the ladder a little bit, just enough for him to be able to get to him. Bro, it was so smooth that it just felt real, man. Like, this was some of the best choreography I've ever seen. It was entertaining the entire way through. It had the ebbs and flows where you thought it was going to go one way and then it jumped a different way. And even though we called it, we said that they were going to probably keep it on Penta, it still felt like it could have went any way the entire match. So I loved it, man. I think it was incredible. I think it was entertaining. Some of that, the bumps that they took in that match was crazy, man. Like, I know those guys. Some of them guys got bruised up pretty bad in that match because it was just that, it felt that real, bro. Like, I loved it. It was incredible. That was actually one of my highest rated matches of the entire WrestleMania.
No, that's what I had told Scott. I was like, that was one of my favorite matches of the weekend, man, was that ladder match right there. And like you were saying, like, how it's hard to try to really time that stuff out. And like when JD, him and I can't remember who was on the ladder with him, and got shoved over, and he balanced on the top ropes. Like, a lot of people try that and they slip.
Yo, that was so hard. But the only one that I had, it just brought it back to my memory, man, that was harder than that, when Javon Evans jumped over, I think it was Ray Phoenix, I think it was, when he jumped he was at the ladder and Javon jumped over him and landed on the ladder.
Yo,
that was the sickest thing, man.
The only thing I've seen like that was great like that was when Kofi had done that. When he bounced off the top rope and landed on the ladder, it was far away, and he made that. I was like, bro.
But you said who he reminds you of, though. You said that.
Mm-hmm.
What about the guy? I mean, what made me fall in love with Logan Paul a couple manias ago, I think, when he and Ricochet went end to end and they met in the middle.
Oh, yep.
They collided.
Off the top rope, they both collided.
Did you see that? That was a few years ago. So.
That was Royal Rumble.
Royal Rumble, yes. Okay. So now, you said something choreographed. I didn't touch on this in the beginning on night one, but I'll be real quick about this. Did anybody go, what the hell? When Braun Breaker messed that spear up when he came trucking down 75 yards down the freaking ramp.
Oh, and he looked at each other.
He was 4 feet from freaking Seth Rollins. He missed that bad.
Scott, let me tell you this, man. I felt the same way when I first saw it. I literally felt the same way until I thought about it afterwards. I was like, you know what? Maybe he didn't miss that. I was like, you know what? As fast, that guy's strong. As fast as he was running from that far out, I think he had to kind of overshoot it a little bit because
Okay.
if he perfect choreography, if he would have made contact that strong that fast, he could have broke several ribs. That man, several ribs.
All right.
That
Now
was my at first I was mad. I was like, whoa, that was terrible. But I thought about it, I was like, you know what? He kind of had to clip him a little bit just to keep him breaking his ribs.
Yeah, so yeah, it comes. I see what you're saying. It comes to the point where you either protect the person you're going to do this to,
Yep.
or connect.
Break something.
And you got to make that decision, right? That's why we can't dog the wrestlers, because I wasn't there. I wouldn't have been able to run 75 yards. Let me tell you that. I'd been out of breath. I'd have been, give me my inhaler, damn it.
Yep.
Where's the oxygen going to take, you know?
Yep.
But, okay. I'll take that back. I'll retract that. But I was the same way. I looked at Rico and go, what was that?
Yep.
When they played it in slow motion, that's when I noticed it, and I'm like you were talking about, Q, how you described. When they played it in slow motion, I was like, okay, because that would have severely hurt.
I mean, I was mad at the match. Honestly, the ladder match was great. I loved the match. Choreography, great. Ray didn't need to win it. I was going to get mad when he was almost up there getting it.
Yeah.
I thought, cool area where you had Javon Evans hanging from the top, hanging from the belt, and there was nowhere to go. That was cool. Ultimately, I'm not mad at Penta winning it. I love Penta. I think we need to see more of him. So I understand why. But I'm not happy what we saw last night when it pertains to my boy, Javon Evans, and we'll talk about that in a minute.
Well, I will say real quick, I think that they're going to have Ray take that IC title.
Really?
The reason why I say that is because of the post show when Penta was like, he wasn't dogging him, but he was dogging him. He's like, in there with a legend, but it didn't really feel like nothing. It was just like, oh, okay, you're nothing.
If he does, I'll just say this, Rico, if you're right, I hope they don't do it for the reason of giving Gunther the title back and having him retire Rey Mysterio. I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. We could see it.
The only person I want to see retire Ray, is Dom. That's
Yes.
the only one I want to see retire him.
That'd be respect. Out of respect. So then we go to Trick. Ooh, that Trick. Trick and Sami Zayn. Rico, you want to start this one?
I love Trick, man.
That Trick.
I love Trick. I watched him in all his growing up in NXT. Him and Carmella together, and I sat there and said, I'm like, man, this guy he's so great. We already knew Hayes was going to be great. I'm like, Trick got something with him, man. If he just works a little bit more on his promos and his talking, man, this guy will be phenomenal. And he's skyrocketing. And he shows it with his wrestling. That's what I love about it. He's not just out there just running his mouth and then can barely wrestle. No, he can get down. And he was in there with Sammy. Whether you love or hate Sammy, Sammy can get down as well.
Yep.
And I liked the match. I thought it was great, but I love that Trick won.
Yep, 100%. Took the words out of my mouth, man. You got any more to say about that one?
Man, there's nothing else to say about that, man. That's it. It was a great match. That was another one of those I felt like they sold it really well. Like, I thought it could have went in either way for a while, man. And I was kind of tense because I wanted Trick to win. At one point, I was like, he's about to lose this because Sammy kept kicking out. But they gave it to him, man. I was happy about it, man. I think he's going to run with this title for a while. I think he's about to show out. I really do. I just hope that they don't. We talked about this before. I hope that they don't throw these guys a curveball like what we saw happen with Javon. I just hope they don't do him bad, man. I loved it.
Rhea and Jade Cargill.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm gonna be real quick, bro. Let me get this off quick. I was so excited. Y'all know I love Jade, but I wanted Rhea to win. I said she was gonna win. This was one of the greatest female matches of all time. I think this is one of those matches that in 10, 15 years, maybe 20 years from now, this will be a Hall of Fame match. Like, I really, really do believe that they showed out. They showcased how far the women's division has come as far as having the chops to actually wrestle. Not that garbage, but actually wrestle. It was entertaining, man. Like, they were two titans. going at it, and I loved it, bro. Like they sold it. It was great. It was great, and it didn't do Jay the disservice. That's the thing.
Nope.
Normally with the women's division, when someone takes the title, they do them dirty, man. It's almost okay. Well, wash her up, put her to the side. She's not going nowhere. Like she showed that she has grown. She has become a beast in her own right. Some of her moves that she struggled before selling, she sold them mugs well. Like I ain't got nothing but good things to say, man. It was one of the best matches of WrestleMania.
Yep.
Yep. And that's where I agree. I mean, Scott, I gotta tell you, man, Doug, before Jade even come to WWE, I was begging for it. I'm like, please bring her. She shows up. I was excited. And I seen a couple, like you pointed out, like her selling and stuff. But she worked on it. She got so much better. And like,
Yes,
I think she's just found it. She's there. And Rhea's just Rhea, man. They both put on a banger. I ain't mad that she lost at all. It didn't do her any injustice. It shows these two Titan women going against each other. The only other women's match I say was about as good as that was the triple threat with Rhea, Bianca, and Io. That match was fire.
Yeah.
But these two, they threw down. They threw down. And I love the respect that Rhea had afterwards, saying, if you don't know about Jade, you better respect her. She is great.
Yeah.
You guys all said it. I don't have nothing else to say. I mean, I do agree. Best women's match in a long time.
Yes, sir.
Jade's still Jade. Jade came out of there looking tough. No discredit to her. If we wouldn't have had a main event like we had, that would have been match of the week.
Yeah.
Easy. Yeah. No questions. 100% match of the week. Hands down.
Yep.
But then we had the main event. We had Roman Reigns defeating CM Punk for the world title.
You brought it back.
Yeah. Raise the ones, man. And I'll just say entrances were phenomenal. The entrance from Roman Reigns was great. Then they came CM Punk's turn. I'm like, then they showed him outside on the roof. I'm like, holy hell, what are we gonna do? Are we going through the rafters? I was like, oh my God, are we gonna do this? And then he just walks down the aisle, takes his own, no music. Did you guys notice that? I was like, whoa, taking his time. He paid homage to all the people that are important in his life, even his dog. Epic. Cinematic. Very well done.
Yep.
Then he said what he says. He hits the ground. He says what he says. And then they have a hell of a match. A hell of a match. I don't know what to say. I mean, it was hard-hitting. It was fast-paced. They were all both spent. They were tired. They were out of it. And you know what? My favorite part of it was the ending. Not because the tribal chief rose his hand, but because there was no tomfoolery. Yeah. It was a straight up clean fight. And that's what WrestleMania needed to close. Straight up clean butt whooping by both those guys. That's my take. I'm glad Roman Reigns won. I still have mad respect for CM Punk. Punk is probably one of the goats of the business. He ain't going nowhere, obviously. And Roman Reigns, man. I don't have to say except for raise the ones, man. That's it. That's all I got on that match.
I'll keep it just short and sweet because you done said everything. It was a phenomenal match. It was my favorite match of the weekend. And those guys right there, they showed why they deserved to be the main event. Yeah. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They were like, you know what I'm saying? This is what it's about. And they showed out. The entrances, and I love the little, I got pointed out, man, Punk and AJ had a little Puerto Rican flag on them, you know, that represents her. And I was just like, that's mad respect right there. But the ending was, loved it. like you said, there was no interruption. There was nobody jumping in, no interference. It was one on one the whole way. No cheating. It was nice.
Yep. You.
Man, that's it, man. Y'all, we can sign that off right there. That's it. Perfect. The match, I have nothing to say about the match. It was spot on. Y'all covered everything. The only thing that I wanted to see, man, is something our boy Rico said weeks ago, man. I would have loved to have seen the match end with Roman standing in the middle of the ring with the belt up, and out walks the entire family, including Rock, to surround the ring. You did it for the family. You did it for the name. Let's go. I would have seen that and them all walk out the arena with him, man. Like, that would have been one of those moments where it's like, that's how you end the show. And it's not about the talent or the match. That's just that added entertainment factor that I think WrestleMania needed, man. And that would have been the perfect way to sign off. Don't nobody talk, don't nobody say nothing. Just come out there, surround the ring. The energy would have just been crazy, man.
I thought at one point on Q we were going to get that, because if you remember, he exited the ring. He went over to his family, gave his wife a kiss, gave his kids a hug, and then somebody told him to get back in the ring. I'm like, okay, because I was thinking about saying, where's The Rock? Where are the Usos? Where's Rikishi? Where's Fatu? Where's all those guys? All of them. Especially what's the homeboy from on the Indies? The cousin. He made a statement. He goes, if I find CM Punk, I'm gonna kick his ass. It was the cousin of Jimmy Zilla, or one of the Fatus. He was like, "Where is he at?" I would have loved that. That would have been, like you said, because when he got back in the ring, I'm like, oh, okay, now we're gonna get The Rock coming out at least. But nope, the credits start running. I'm like, okay.
That would have been the icing on the cake. I was waiting for it, but I was like, it ain't gonna happen. But it would have been perfect. Like after him and Jay had the head of the table match, tribal chief match, he goes down, goes ahead and puts it on him, the Ula Fala. I'm like, that was a perfect way to end it.
Right. You know what's crazy? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
What's crazy about that to me, man, is, and WWE always does this. We have these ideas that we know. We've been fans for too many years. We know the ins and outs of the business. We watched it. We know what works, what sells. Man, we're good. We're fans. They turn right around on Monday Night Raw and do a smaller version of the shit that we're talking about. That made no sense. Why did he need the Usos to be standing there to walk out with him? He didn't need that. They didn't add any relevance to the moment. It made no sense at all. That should have been reserved for WrestleMania. That's my opinion. Even if it was just those guys, have them come out there and stand beside him. Have all those guys. That just made more sense to me, man. You turn right around and do it on Raw. That I couldn't understand it. I was like,
I'm gonna save I'm gonna rebuttal to that. I agree, Q, but I'm gonna add to it when we're talking about that at the end of Raw. I'm going to give you my opinion. I do like that. I do like your opinion. I understand that completely. Okay. That could have been done at WrestleMania. Do we need to talk about Danhausen at WrestleMania, or can we leave him alone?
Listen, man. Y'all, I just got to say this. Maybe it's just because The Miz.
I'm glad it was The Miz. Nobody else deserves that than The Miz. I can't stand that guy.
Listen, don't be hating on my dog, Miz, all right?
Dude, he's a dog. He's not a
but
dog.
Because it's The Miz having the altercations with Danhausen, I'm like starting to like him. Like, man, it's starting to, like, if you watch the wedding ceremony with Miz and Maurice and stuff, and Danhausen shows up, and I'm like, okay, man, it's a little R-Truth comedy, and I'm liking it.
Yeah. He showed up on Monday Night Raw, man, and I was like, what the hell is this? So, all right, that was WrestleMania Night 2. It was Night 2 grades. What would you give it, man? What you'd rate it? 1 out of 10.
Man, I honestly got to say, like, I got to give that a 8.5. I'm giving that 8.5 around there.
Wow.
You.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I was actually saying I was gonna say a 9 only because I didn't have a single moment the entire second night where I was mad. Like all the matches, it just kept going, man. It was just really good the entire time. So I was gonna say it now. However, I'm gonna agree with Reek with the 8.5, and I'm gonna say take half a point off, because I feel like they could have ended the show with a little bit more emotion for the moment that was as big as it was.
If the family would have come out,
Yeah,
tens.
I'm with you.
I at one point thought 10.
Yeah.
10 on 10. They nailed that night.
Yep.
Except now that I'm talking to you guys and insert Danhausen and Miz, that dropped it down to 9. Forget the family stuff. If they could have added that to it, I'm at an 8.5.
Okay. We're the same thing. All right, cool.
Thank you, Danhausen, for ruining that for me.
Hey, man.
You are good. So we opened up night one, or Monday Night Raw, with whom none other than Obafemi. What's your guys' take on his quick little thing? Go ahead, man.
I'm gonna be super quick. I didn't like it. I probably irritated Shanice. I was so pissed off about it. I was like, they're doing it. That's all I kept saying. They're doing it. I just don't want him to become a gimmick. I do not want him to become a gimmick. I think him dropping the mic, your ruler is here. I don't like it, man. Like, I feel like he's one of those guys where either you let him say few words, period, and that just be his thing. I don't talk much. I just come in and wreck, which just doesn't work anymore today in today's entertainment, because you got to talk. You have to be good with the mic. So if he's going to talk, let him come out there and do something. Let him come out there and say what he's going to do. Let him call who he actually wants out. Like, I thought that was the time to let him go ahead and show his chops, because he got mic skills. So I want to see him come out there and talk his shit, man. I didn't want to see him come out there and say one line and drop the mic. I wasn't excited about it. I wanted more.
Okay.
No, exactly. I thought he was going to say more, and it was just like, what the hell? I started thinking about it, and I tried reasoning with it, and I was like, to follow up his post-Mania interview when he was talking smack that Roman and stuff, and like, so I feel like, him just saying that was directed right at Roman, saying, because Roman said, I'll see you on Raw. I'll be at Raw. And so he was just like, the ruler's here. I feel like it was directed at him, but it could have been so much more, man.
Yeah. But Rico, I think that comes down to what we talked about earlier. I think it's a part of Raw not being set on any direction that they want to go in. That's the problem. Because if they were okay with saying, yo, we're going to go ahead and start building this up. We all see it coming. We're going to start building this up. If they would have done that, that was the perfect time to have him come out there. Roman ended up talking about the whole, you're going to kill me. That would have been the time for him to come out and respond and say, you doggone right. You step in this ring, you're going to learn exactly what I'm capable of. Like, that was a time for that. But, of course, we understand that they're trying to do this spin with, Jacob Fatu and him. So, I don't know, man.
I was a fan of it. I loved it.
Really?
Yeah.
The one-liner? Oh, man.
Dude, I'm a master of the mic drop. Boom.
Gotcha. Okay. Fair enough.
He said what he had to say at Mania at the press conference.
True.
He said, Roman,
yep,
by the end of the year, I'm going to take what you have.
That's true.
He comes in. He says the ruler is here. Bye.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not.
We could have did more.
If I'm Roman Reigns, I'm sweating my balls off, going, oh shit. And that's all Obafemi had to do. 1 minute, boom.
No, because Roman said it perfectly at the press conference. He said, "Oh, okay, you beat Brock. Been there, done that a couple times."
Roman's shaking in his boots, dude.
Nah.
If he's not, he better.
Tribal Chief ain't sweating it.
I love Tribal Chief. I'm a Tribal Chief. I love him. Well, that's going to be a hell of a match whenever that happens.
Yeah.
Don't tell me it's not, because that's going to be a bad-ass match.
Yeah,
right?
Man. That might be one of the greatest of all time, for real, man. Seriously.
So then where we head up? What's next that we had? I have Rhea Ripley, and Io Sky defeated Kabuki Warriors when Sky hit Carrier Sane with over the moonsault.
Mm-hmm.
That's a hell of a move, dude. The over the moonsault.
Yeah.
What? And the way she does it, holy hell!
He was crazy.
I thought. I mean, don't think. I mean, I love that seeing Rhea Ripley and Io Sky win, but as we've seen at the end near the middle of the show, Rhea said, "I'm going to SmackDown. You go on with your life. Goodbye."
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of like a somber moment for me. I'm like, oh, so here goes Rhea, and if she is. That's where she's going. She told Io Sky, go do what you got to do. What you guys thought about that match with Rhea and Io?
I thought it was pretty solid. It was a good match. Like I said, Io does some crazy stuff. I always love it, but we all knew Rhea. I mean, she has to go to SmackDown. She's the champ over there, so we knew they were going to be parting ways. And I don't know if y'all caught it, like with Liv in the backstage segment. It was real quick when Rhea was walking by.
Yep.
Like saying, we'll see each other again. And Rhea's like, I look forward to it. Well, pretty much that's going to be champion against champion at Crown Jewel.
Yeah, you're gonna get that. You're gonna get Rhea and Liv. Yeah, easy. That'll be a fun match to watch too.
Absolutely. Normally, I would have one negative thing to say about this, man. Right after her winning the belt, normally those guys are kind of on ice for a second. I wasn't excited about her jumping right back into the tag thing. I kind of thought they was parting ways with that and kind of creating that divide. But it did feel good to see them back together in the ring doing their thing as a tag team. And hopefully it's one of those things where it's a swan song. They did it. They had a good match, good, and let her ride on off to the sunset and be done with that. And let Io go ahead and get her shine solo.
So I can't wait to hear about this. But we're going to talk about Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, in the middle of the ring. Somebody go.
We all knew it was coming. It happened sooner than what I thought, but I mean, like you said, who's Cody going to go against? So what we're going to do is we're going to take, technically everybody wants to call him the baby face of the company right now, and you're going to put him against another baby face. And this is where you're going to see Cody turn heel.
Possible, yeah. What do you Q?
I would love to see it. I just feel like we needed to see Cody make a sharper turn with Randy. And I feel like he kind of got there a little bit, but didn't go full blown. I don't really know if CM Punk is going to have a storyline heavy enough with him to where we can see that type of shift. I just really don't. I thought it was rushed. I thought it was too soon. I didn't like it. I really didn't. It's not something I was excited about. Will they be a good match? Absolutely. It'll be blockbuster, but I just feel like there's more directions they could have went with all of this right now. It just seemed like they just kind of said, here we go, throw them together, and let's see what happens. It's a big name and a big name. How could we go wrong? And I didn't like it.
I will say so. I agree because you said something at the beginning of the show. You used the word rushed. I will add to that word rushed confusion.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what are we doing?
Yep.
It's almost felt like the Raw after Mania. They were trying to go with get a huge pop out of people. So why not bring Cody Rhodes out and CM Punk out? And I feel like this fell flat. You have two of the best on the mic. I don't even think they had words that they could say. Punk wasn't sharp. Rhodes wasn't sharp.
Nope.
And they're going to say, oh, it's because we got our asses beat the night before, which is probably true. But you have two athletes out there, right? Probably your biggest names of the business. And you fell flat on your ass about this. And you ended it with anytime you want.
And see, for me, there's where I got to disagree. I think that was the kindling for the fire right there. It's about to blow up because we know how they both are great on the mic, but CM Punk can get personal, and I see him getting personal, and just he's going to bring that dark side out of Cody, and it's going to get good.
Now, don't get me wrong, Rico. I agree. I agree. There's going to be a heel turn. I agree. This when this happens, it's going to happen at Backlash. Let's be honest. When it happens, it's going to be fire. They're going to put on a banger of a match. Don't get me wrong. They are. But that segment was like weird to me. It felt awkward. But they did, and they saved it at the end when he made that statement. You know, when CM Punk said what he said, and Cody, as he's walking out the ring, Cody says, "Anytime you want, man." I don't know. It was kind of crazy, kind of weird segment for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to what Rico just said about CM going personal, because I can see that, and it makes perfect sense how that would kind of make that turn for Cody and mentally. However, I just don't. I think it's stale, man. It's like you can't get any higher than the mic battle we saw between Roman and CM Punk. You can't. Like, that was the top of the line. The personal jabs, getting kind of going too far at times. Like, you can't do any more than that. So I feel like if they would have waited and then had something kind of make it happen organic, it would make more sense. But to kind of throw it out there, like, already, like, plant them seeds, hey, here we go, it's going to be these two guys, what's going to make him go to that level? Like, where is it build up? We saw there's history with them. We understood Roman and CM Punk, but, like, what are we going to get that's going to make this big enough to where it makes sense for them to be at odds? I don't know, man. I
would love them to insert Randy Orton in this. I would love that, because Randy has beef with Punk too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, but I think it's stale. I think right now because I think there's unfinished business between Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton.
I do too.
For sure.
I do too.
I mean, you don't get punted in the face and the belt slapped out of your hand, and not have another match, not have something.
Yep.
So I'd be a fan.
Go ahead.
I hope the writers will maybe bring him into this CM Punk Cody Rhodes thing. Maybe. Because you know damn well Randy Orton ain't going to stay away.
No.
Nope.
He's going to come back and say, "I punted your ass. I'm going to punch you again, so stop." So then one of my least favorite people. First of all, we had this damn segment in the back where Javon Evans, which is my up and coming superstar, I think he's gonna be phenomenal if they do it right. Having a conversation with the GM, and in walks Ethan Page.
Love that guy.
In my opinion, all ego. You knew he was when he put him up against Javon Evans. Unfortunately, I said to myself, "Nope, here we go. They have a superstar in Javon Evans. Now they have." Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to say Ethan Page is a superstar. He's proved himself on NXT. I don't like him. But now, what are you going to do with Javon Evans? You're going to have him lose to Ethan Page, and there goes his shot that he wanted. And what are we doing?
I don't necessarily think it crumbled Javon Evans. What it did was it just had because I felt like the Javon and Ethan match was just thrown together quickly. And so now you have beef from the ladder match the night before. And so now you got Rusev coming out there and be like, "You cost me the title," and start beating him down. So you're going to create this, and then who comes back out? Penta. So I see this creating a triple threat for the IC title.
But you better not put Rusev in there. You better put Javon Evans. He deserves it. That boy's worked his ass off.
Penta, Javon, and Rusev.
Ooh, you're gonna leave Ethan Page out of that?
Yeah. I don't get me wrong, I love Ethan Page, man, but he wasn't inserted in anything. Yeah, I don't see a reason to make it a fatal four-way. He's not part of that whole bash that went down.
I hope they don't make. Well, you know what WWE is famous for though. They love their fatal four-ways. So you're going to see a fatal four-way at Backlash.
But I think a nice triple threat with those three right there, and then possibly have Javon take the title. There's where you can like let him shine and let's see how he does with the title.
Right.
But I will say this: you got to do something with Rusev. You cannot bring a guy back to the company and make him look like absolute dirt. You just can't.
He is absolute dirt.
No, Rusev's actually pretty solid.
He is.
If you give him a chance.
I was talking to my brother about that. You know, I don't get behind Gunther's, Rusev's. I never got behind Bob Backlund's. Those type of, you know, and I because all they are strong men that just go out and beat people up, you know, and then there's no. So, but what about you, Q? What are you thinking, man?
I just don't want to see them have Ethan Page come in and kind of jump ahead of a lot of those guys that have been putting the work in to earn it. That's my only thing, man. Do I think that Javon gets the title? I'd love to see it. I just personally think right now this is still Penta's season. I think he needs to strut with the title for a little bit longer. I can't believe I'm saying this right now, but I'm with Reek. I believe before Javon gets the title, I believe that Rusev deserves a chance to run the title for a little while and kind of be the big bad guy of the division. That's my thoughts. And then whoever is bad enough to take it from him, and it's your turn to run with it. But I think it's Penta's season right now. I think that next in line should be Rusev. And then after that, let's let Javon or whoever earns it carry the torch. But I think that's how it should go.
I wouldn't be mad at that as much as I can't get behind Rusev's character.
Me neither. I don't like him either.
But I see that. I see. That's what makes me. That's what we were talking about a couple weeks ago. You know, there's so much talent.
Yeah. On
that roster. At least, especially in the Intercontinental Championships and the, you know, and then the tag team match just amped up last night. We'll get there. But yeah, so I think next was Liv Morgan and Sal Ruka.
Real quick, I just want to say, just imagine this. You have that triple threat we was talking about.
Right.
You have Rusev win.
Right.
You know, and then, like I said, that triple threat won't be for a little bit. You have Rusev win. And then you have this feud with him and Javon Evans, and he's just constantly just beating Javon down. And at the next PLE after that, Javon beats him, takes him out, and it builds up more of a hype for Javon getting that title.
Yes, sir.
So let's move quickly. I know Rico probably has to get up at 4 a.m, so let's fly through the rest of it, all right? Liv Morgan, Sal Ruka. What do you think, Rick? What do you think about that?
It was a good match, man. So Ruka, she has shown herself. She has shown herself, man. She deserves to be there. Great. And Liv, just, I mean, dang, that girl. I swear, I feel like she just gets better every time. That's why I just feel like every time she just gets better. Mic skill, character, and in-ring performance.
What about you, Q?
Same here, man. I think Liv is one of those people, like, I think, and it's going to sound crazy, I think that she's a master of the match. And what I mean by that is I think that some of those people, they struggle with the choreography and getting everything down. I think she's one of those girls where, like, she get in there, she knows it top to bottom. They probably love her for that. And you can tell by the matches, her matches are so smooth, man. Like, yeah, I love watching her.
That finish, what I had to take about that from that match, that finishing Soul Ruka did, oh my God. I had to look it up. I had to look the Soul Snatcher. What? That's a phenomenal match. Phenomenal. Yes, Bron Breakker, man, I'll just say this. Boy looked almost like his dad when he walked out last night. I could not, I mean, I said, holy hell, that's a new look. So Bron Breakker cut down Seth Rollins, man. That whole segment with Seth and Bron and Paul and Man, that all I gotta say is I was impressed of what Braun Breaker looked like last night. That's all I can say about that.
Well, what I could say about that was what made me jump out of my seat so happy is when I heard that dun 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 dun, and my boy Street Profits come out there and take.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yes. I was like, let's the business just got real in the tag.
I've been missing those guys.
You know, I mean, with the Usos now not in the tag team division, and because they're with their boy Roman, Street Profits reemerged. That I popped for that. I was like, yeah, and they look solid, dude. They look.
Come on, man. Montez that flip over the ropes, landed on his feet like it was cake work.
Right. Phenomenal. Oh, what about you, Q?
I mean, y'all know I'm about the biggest Braun fan, man. I was excited to have him come back. He was right. He did like his dad, man. I just hope they can let him, if he stays healthy, let him go off, man. Let him take off. He's got it, man. He really does. He has star power. I felt a little bit opposite of you guys. I was disappointed, man, when Street Profits came out. And not because of them. Yeah, not because of them. That's not who I envision stopping the vision. That's not who I see as being the team to put them down. So I was a little disappointed about it. I was like, I don't know. It didn't fit to me. But like you said, who else is going to be able to do it, man? The Usos kind of got their own stuff going on right now. So maybe they will be the one to come back and kind of take over and put those guys down. I just wasn't hyped to see them come out for this segment. It just didn't really make sense to me.
Who would you put in there, man? Out of curiosity.
That's the thing. I don't even know, man. I have no idea. No idea. Because there's not really a lot of, we talk about the girls, the women's division. There's so much talent, solo and tag. The men's division is lacking in the tag area, in my opinion, man. There's just not those go-to tag teams where we're like, that's the one. They just don't have it anymore, man. So, like I said, I'm not mad at it. It's kind of, we don't have a lot to choose from right now. So maybe it'll work. I just don't see them as being the tag team to kind of shut those guys up. I just don't.
Gotcha. So Finn Balor defeated JD McDonough at with the coup de grace after quickly turned the tables. What do you think about that?
I mean, Finn and JD, I think JD's underrated. He don't get enough credit where credit's due.
True.
My man can throw down. And that was a good match.
Gunther was interrupted by LA Knight during his little backstage interview. What do you think about the interactions between Gunther and LA Knight last night? I want to comment about that.
From a chemistry standpoint, I think that's something they could have explored a long time ago, and we could have possibly had that for Wrestle Mania, in my opinion.
Yes.
I think that LA Knight is that perfect, like, opposing figure to Gunther's bad guy, mean guy. LA Knight, I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna kick ass too, but he's funny, he's likable. Like, I think they have good chemistry, man. I really do.
I said the same thing. I was like, where was this last year?
Yep. I mean, yeah, you didn't need LA Knight in that tag team match with Macho Speed. You needed
not at all.
No, he could have done it. He could have done a Gunther match. I agree with you, man. I agree with you. So then we had this jackass with paint on his face, try to drive his mini car into the stadium, and it blows up on him. And I don't get me wrong, I laughed. I laughed my ass off at this. I'm like, dude, the car's blowing up. And things he said, he goes, and then I love it. He goes, this car is blowing up. There's smoke in my face. And then he goes, then he gives his demands. And I'm like, oh my God. So, I mean, he wants to be called the greatest of all time. He Demonhausen. He talked about being a 2026 Hall of Famer. He got to walk the red carpet.
That's why I'm like, I can't get mad at him, man. He's cracking me up here.
Then he cursed the Miz, so I like that. I was like, yeah, okay, you're good. But no, I mean, it was all right. I mean, the funniest part was the car blew up. I thought that was great. I thought that was hilarious. So then I know. Q's been dying to talk about this last part. Roman Reigns, Usos, Jacob Fatu. One you got.
All I gotta say, man, is I cannot wait to hear your take on why you agree with it, but why you feel like it was okay. I gotta hear this, man.
Why I feel that the Usos being in the ring with
Yep.
him was okay.
Yep.
This is my take on it. The only reason why I feel like it was okay is because the disservice that the Usos have been getting.
Yeah.
Because of Jay's, he got popular real quick, then slims right down. Jimmy never really got a push or nothing. You had him lose the tag team titles for no reason at all at the wrong time. You had him in this WrestleMania match for nothing. It was just a throw-in match. But to say the Usos were at Mania, you know what I'm saying? And you're not doing anything with them. So why not? And I love how Roman put it. I don't want you here. What was the word he said? Not as like workers or something, but as family. I just want you to be here as family. That's it.
Yep.
Or I said, I don't want
Yeah.
to be I don't want to be in charge of you. So
So
I like that because that's just stating like he's not commanding them to do anything anymore. This is a family thing. Let's do this together.
Yep.
I'm gonna need your help. I'm gonna need your help, Q. What did you say in the beginning? What was your take again? I want to feed off that take.
My thing was just simply, we should have had the moment, even if it was just Usos, the family moment should have been done at WrestleMania to end the show. They should have had that moment. Even what Rico just said, because I get it, I understand that now, I see it differently. Even if he did that whole speech about, this is what I want, this is what I need, I feed off of this. Like if he did that at the end of WrestleMania after hugging and kissing his wife, and he had that moment like, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. Like I don't need to be the worship. Like I want my family. If he told them guys to come out and did that at WrestleMania, I would feel better about it. I just thought them not sharing in that moment, the family, and then Raw all of a sudden they're standing in Gorilla. It didn't make sense to me, man. That was the only thing.
So for me, I've been a Ula follow. I've been the Uso family. I've been like a follower of that since day one. I got the shirt. Family. Okay, Roman Reigns went into that WrestleMania and he went to battle with CM Punk and he won that match by himself. He comes to WrestleMania, and what's one of Roman Reigns' things he says all the time to the Usos? Don't interfere.
Yeah.
Hey, you're my family. Let me do this.
Yeah.
I think when the Usos were at the Gorilla, they were exactly where Roman wanted them because they're there to say thank you. He walks out to that ring. They're in the ring with him. He comes in. He says, I don't want your services. I want your family. And they separated and they went beside him. And they have always said, and then I think Jimmy said, we are the ones. They are the twos. We are the ones, right? I just think it was cool because I think after going through battle, Roman Reigns seeing his cousins, said they got my back. I say I loved it because I was a big fan of those guys, all three of them, and that whole storyline for the last 4 years. I hope they don't rerun it like that. But it sold tickets. It was storyline after storyline. It launched people into whatever.
Yep.
And so my reason why I said that, Q, was I just thought, to me, that solidified family in the business. Yeah. That's it. I think that was a perfect time to do it. I agree with you. They could have done it at WrestleMania. I would have loved to see his family come together. But to see those guys back together again on a Monday Night Raw, I could not love it. I had to love it. I was like, oh, that's great. That is awesome stuff. A lot of people are saying, what are we going to do with this after this? I don't know. I said that every week. What are you going to do next? And they surprise the hell out of us every week, and they never disappointed. That is one storyline they never disappointed in. Insert Jacob Fatu. If you had to see this coming, you know when he walked down that aisle, he wasn't coming to raise the one.
Yeah.
But they planted a seed, which is going to be a hella storyline. I hope the next 3 weeks are great leading to Backlash. Jacob said what he said, right? Let's see. Jacob's been in prison, right? He got out of prison. He's lived a life of a hell of a life. If you read his backstory, in his real life, they've been through hell and back. And he's like, dude, I don't necessarily want to fight you, but I need what you have.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you don't need that. You don't need it. You'll have food on your table. You'll have clothes for your kids. Usos don't need it either. They got money. He's like, dude, man, I need what you have. I want what you have. I want the jets. I want the buses. I want this. I want that. I want the money. I want to feed my kids. If they continue that storyline like that, Backlash will be gold. Mm-hmm. Will Jacob Fatu win at Backlash? If he does, that'd be hella. I'd be hella swerved, man. If he does, I'd be hella shocked. But I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad. Why would I be mad? Because now you can insert Obafemi. And Obafemi would be easy. Jacob Fatu would be easy target for Obafemi. I don't know. But I loved what Jacob Fatu said. I really did. I thought it was so personal, so true. And that's what I loved about the Bloodline.
Yeah.
Stuff they say and the stuff they do makes you want to be a brother.
Mm-hmm.
No, and dude, man, I got two of the coolest brothers sitting right in front of me. I'll raise the ones all night long with you guys.
Yes, sir.
That's all I got to say about that.
Right.
That's what I said. What I said.
Yeah. Well, I'm just real quick say that when Jacob loses, he will acknowledge Roman, and you're going to see a different, because Roman's going to, like he told him, you want all those things, let me help you achieve them.
I won't be mad if Jacob loses, man. You're right, because Jacob will fall in line and raise the one.
I kind of like it now. Y'all sold me now. I'm with it.
He's like, damn it.
Yep.
But no, I mean, I've always been a Bloodline fan, man. I've always been it. So
I know. Yeah, the Usos, it was a day late. Could have did it the day before, but better late than never. And
you're not wrong.
But I love how, like I said, how he just worded it. He worded it perfectly to let them know you're not down here. You're right here with me.
Yeah. And remember the first time with the Bloodline, everybody was below him.
Mm-hmm.
I think Roman Reigns knows now that he needs these dudes around him.
Well, what did he say? We're like this. We're weaker. But when we're like this, nobody can stop us.
Yeah.
Any closing remarks, Q?
No, man. That's it. I was being funny earlier, but I really mean it, man. Like I kind of like it now. I'm with it. I'm sold on it. I think I would like to see that happen now. Jacob kind of be humbled, kind of be wrangled in a little bit. I could see them going far, and I wouldn't mind seeing the Bloodline come back and circle around again, as long as they do it in a different way, man. And I feel this is the first time in a lot of years where if they did do that, there's enough talent on the other side to hold the business up and oppose the Bloodline. You have the LA Knights, you have the Trick Williams, you have the Overfield, you have all of these guys that are like, they can go. So I think this time around, it'll be fun, man. Everybody can have their own storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Well, guys, it's been a good hour and 40 minutes. We talked about Monday Night Raw. We talked about Mania 1 and 2. I'm going to close out tonight. Don't go anywhere. I want to ask you guys a real quick question. So, everybody, thanks for watching the Huge Pop Entertainment. My boy Reek and my boy Q.
Nope.
As every Tuesday, we talk about Raw. Thank you, guys.